Sure is, yeah. So we're getting ready to load a log, and we're gonna bail out some tuba forts.
Yep, we got some pretty small logs today.
Yeah, they're really small.
They're basically what some people might call sticks.
Yeah, or they would probably throw them in the coal pile
Oh,
and
yeah.
forget about sawing anything out of them.
Yeah, they'd be winners at the toothpick mill, but
Yeah,
at a
right.
lumber mill, they'd probably get
Oh,
thrown
they'd
away.
be, yeah, they would be ground up as biomass.
So I milled last night, if you guys saw that live, and I left the mill dry, so there's nothing on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pick up a log with Donnie. We're going to pick up one of the bigger ones at the top. We have 5 little guys left.
Yeah.
We're going to pick one up and come bring it over and load it up. Somebody says, Bogon XC says, hello, guys. So we got people already on there, Donnie.
All right.
We got
Okay.
people commenting. We're up to 7. We're up to 13. We're up to 15 people already, Donnie. So
Oh, wow, nice.
this is Donnie's first
Nice.
time live, guys. Make sure you welcome them. Throw a comment on there. They're saying hello,
Yeah.
Donnie.
Good or bad or indifferent.
Yeah, we're going to keep
Whatever
the
the
swearing to a
comment.
minimum.
Yeah,
We're going to try to keep the injuries to a minimum
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Andrew Petty, welcome, buddy. So I'm going to fire up this Kubota, and Donnie and I are going to load up a log, and we're going to show you guys how we mill a log. But like I said, this is Donnie's first time being on live for YouTube, so we're pretty excited about it. Fired right up. First shot. Let me see if I can turn this camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing. You're going to hear some beeping. It's a stupid emissions thing on this tractor. We tried to run it through the other day and it just didn't do a good job, so. Put her in high gear. Like it? Oh, back? Down? I'm used to having 2 hands for this job. Like it? You clear? Let's see if we can grab it. Yeah, we got it. Little guy. Yeah, I think I can work with that, Donnie. All right, guys, we got a hemlock log here. Ain't much of a log. It's a top, but we're not gonna waste it. We don't like anything going to waste. That's something that Donnie's preached for years, especially with a renewable resource like a tree or a forest. So we're gonna load this on the mill right now. I'm bringing her over and with the grapple hook, and I'm gonna show you how we do it. I'm gonna put her in high gear because we're running out of minutes. I'll slow her down when I get closer. But it's hard to do with one hand. A lot of operating. All right, so got her close. I'm gonna slow her right down. I got it, Donnie. Yeah, I think I can get under that cable. There's a cable up top there I gotta watch for, but I also gotta get the log up as much as possible too. All right, here we go. Look out, guys. This could get ugly in a hurry. Nope, looking pretty good. I'm gonna slowly lower it as slow as I can. Oh, watch out, Donnie, watch your fingers. There she is. He's gonna take that grapple and I'm gonna back her straight up. You all right? Beautiful. She's a thing of beauty. All right. We are loaded. We are loaded. Tain't much of a log, fellas. I'm going to show you what she looks like ahead of time. Donnie's going to get a... So...
See how much space we have.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna turn it so it kind of sits on all the bunks
Yeah.
as best as possible. And
Looks pretty flat to me.
that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'll lock her in.
Hard to do one-handed.
Everything's a little bit harder one-handed.
Yeah.
But I'm happy I got 2 and 1.
All right.
So we're locked in there. This is a hemlock once again, guys. I'll get you a dimension. It ain't much. I'm gonna tell you that. I'll tell you right now, she ain't much.
Good tuba
We're trying to get about 3 or 4 4x2s out of this thing that we can use for building. And for a measurement, I got, it's just under 9 inches, so geez. So we don't have much to work with there. I'll do my best. I'll shave her down thin for you. But I'm gonna set you guys up in the tripod, so that way Donnie and I can work. Actually, why don't I bring you over to the mill first? Let's get the mill running. I'll show you that. You got your ears on? Yeah, this mill's pretty loud, fellas. You might want to put your volume down right now, but
If you're home, you better put your earmuffs on.
yeah, put your earmuffs on. So we got to take this can off. That's our mufflers that aren't really mufflers. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start this old 40-year-old mill up. We got enough gas to do this log, right? Yeah, we should. Yep. So normally we fill it, but here's my choke. This is my water for the blade, to lubricate the blade. This is my on-off. Donnie's already tightened up the saw blade there, and we're gonna see if she starts. Beautiful. All right, guys, so that's it. We just got we got 4x2s, studs that we're gonna use to build this wilderness camp. Donnie will show you the wane on one of them and how it's acceptable.
A little bit of back here, we call it wane, but you still have quite a bit of wood strength here, so we will use that when we're framing with no problem.
Yep, and these are an honest 2x4. You know, they'll have a tiny bit of shrinkage, but if you look right there, that's 4 inches and solid two this way, right there. So those are ones we're actually going to use. We're going to build with them. We ended up getting 4 out of that little tiny log, so you know that's why we don't waste anything. You know, that tree took a long time to grow.
Right.
That was not a young tree, so we're not going to waste the top of it, and we're going to take her down as much as we can until we can, you know, get 4 or less. You know, maybe anything less than 3, I guess, wouldn't quite be worth running the mill.
Right.
But I mean, these are $3 each or a little bit more, so there's $12 in a couple minutes. And what we're going to do now, guys, is we'll show you how we actually stack these. We'll show you how we stack these and how we prepare them for the time being before we get to build. So Donnie's gonna show you guys how to do it, and I'm gonna hold the camera. How's that work out? Pretty good? I'll bring one over.
It works out good for you.
Yeah, it works out real good for me. I gotta hold the camera, Donnie. It's just like when we go fishing. He catches a big fish, but he doesn't know how to run the camera, so, or I tell him I don't know how to run the camera, so I gotta hold the fish. And you take the picture, Donnie. But this is our stack right here, and you know, guys, it's growing. You know, 4 at a time. You know, 4 at a time, and we could rip out a bunch of logs. It grows, you know, so, you know, it's not done over, you know, in one day. We don't get it all done at one time. It's not something that you could just get done. It takes a little bit of patience and kind of staying at it like the rabbit and the hare, right, Donnie?
Right. So we stack them on edge like this because we can get more on a row, for one thing.
Yep.
And I think they actually dry better with spacing in between. And then we put a sticker in between so air flows.
These are our stickers.
All over. So.
Yeah, 1-inch pine stickers. It looks like we got about 17 in a row. 14, 16 or 17 in a row. And right now we got 8 rows high. So there's 128 right there, I think. And this one's gonna make 129. And there's one more on the mill. But yeah, we got over 20 people watching, Donnie. I'll look for comments. Wow. Good day for making sawdust, Keith said. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the humidity's down. It's one of the better cutting days.
Yeah, and we got, like, you guys see this old roofing that we saved from like an old junk building. We just throw that roofing over the top of this so it stays dry, you know, with the rain, but it still gets airflow all the way through it. It looks like a radiator, you know, so air can get through it that way, and or a honeycomb. But Donnie, so we got 20 people on here, and 20 of them, some of them might not know what we're doing with this lumber or why we're milling it. Do you want to let them know?
Yeah, we purchased a piece of a lease up northern Maine, way the heck and gone back in the woods. And on this lease presently is an old trapper's cabin, which is in deplorable shape. It would take quite a bit of effort to get it revitalized and going. So we decided to build a new camp there. So that's where we're going to start the new camp sometime in probably September, or work on it through October. Hopefully to get it weather tight by snowfly. And so that's where all this stuff is going. It's about with a load on, it's about a 7-hour ride from here.
Yeah, 7.5.
And it's, as I say, back in the boonies, just where we want to be. It's not on any lake or anything of that sort, but there's plenty of ponds and lakes in the area, which will provide us with a little fishing, and it's a great bird hunting area, deer hunting, moose hunting. So it's just in the wilderness, and And believe you me, there's a lot of wilderness left in Maine.
Yeah. And then, guys, I'll interrupt just for 1 second because there's something that Donnie and I've done for years and years and years that we really enjoy. And I'll let him tell you why we do it and how we enjoy it. But we both have the means to go buy this lumber. You know, like lumber's come down quite a bit. And, you know, we could afford a little bit of lumber. But we really, really prefer to cut down the trees ourselves and mill the lumber. And Donnie's fortunate enough, he's got a couple of hundred plus acre of woodlot here that he's been managing for as long as I've known him, you know, to preserve it, but also harvest it too, rather than just let all the trees die and fall down. So I'll let him take over from here and tell you guys why we like to mill our own stuff and why we and build with it too.
Well, you know, I've owned this. My parents owned this lot previous to me, and so they gave it to me, and I do selective cutting here. Every year I take out a little bit of the big growth because some of it actually is kind of going by. Some of the big pine is kind of going by. Probably should have been cut, you know, half dozen years ago. But as you can see, there's some tall pine right here. And so anyway, during the winter months, we had my friend Jamie come in, and he skidded out a bunch of pine for us and this hemlock, which we're sawing right now for this camp. And oh, here we go. We got a plane going.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a noisy sucker. Wow. So you know, we just get enjoyment out of cutting the wood and seeing it develop from a tree into lumber. It's quite rewarding, and we, you know, we can make something out of stuff that the mill would probably wouldn't take.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really true. And
Yeah. And if you guys don't know that or haven't done it before, I know a lot of you guys are into fishing and hunting on my channel as well. It's really similar to like going out and shooting your own deer and cutting it up and then getting to feed it to your family, you know, and use it for a while. And it's kind of the same feeling, wouldn't you say?
yeah, I'd say
or like
so.
catching a mess of crappie and
Oh,
cooking
yeah.
them up and
Oh,
then getting
man.
to feed them to some friends.
You
And
can't beat that.
you can't beat it.
No,
It's kind of the same feeling for us, you know, watching these trees grow and Donnie just doing such a great job selectively harvesting, him and Jamie for decades, literally, and then, you know, taking what needs to be taken, harvest the trees off it, and then cut them down into dimensional lumber, you know, logs first, then lumber, and then we're going to take all these that you see here and all these here, and we're going to build a wilderness camp that hopefully lasts longer than both of us. And
it certainly will last longer than I will.
yeah, and Stevie's involved, and Stevie's daughter, she loves the outdoors, and
Yeah.
hopefully she gets to enjoy it someday, and
Oh, yeah.
maybe bring her kids there, you know, and,
Yeah.
and something that we can enjoy for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
So
It'll-
we're really excited to do that.
Yeah, yeah, and we're in an area up north that's just,
It's
you know,
beautiful.
a lot of game, you know,
Beautiful.
in this beautiful, beautiful area.
Yeah.
So,
And anytime you get in the North Maine woods,
yeah, it is.
it's
It's an adventure.
it is really,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And this trip, I mean, you guys are gonna watch us build, and Donnie's a professional builder. Don't let him tell you
Oh,
otherwise.
I don't know anything.
I'm a hammer, or maybe I'm the nail. I don't know, but you're gonna watch us build, and there's 100 different ways to build things. The funny thing is I own an ice cream shop. It's a community center too. You know, it's a center for the community. And Donnie and I built my axe shop there, my woodworking shop, and I bet you we had about probably 10 different carpenters from town. You know, this is a pretty
Yeah,
carpenter
yeah.
strong area. They would go get an ice cream, then they'd walk over and they'd tell us how they'd build it.
Yeah, right.
They wouldn't quite say we were doing it wrong.
No.
But the funny thing was, you know, if I wrote down how everybody built something, it'd be 10 different ways, but the
Yeah.
result's going to be the
You
same.
get the same result.
Yeah.
So there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Exactly. So
You know.
we had a lot of fun with that build, and
Yeah.
and Donnie's so humble. He listens to everybody and all the carpenters, and even though he's built 100 houses, he still listens to them, and you know, we try things different ways too. So
Yeah.
we know there's different ways to build. So so this build that we're gonna do is one heck of a project. I think the hardest part's just gonna be the logistics of getting everything up there.
Yeah,
And
and getting it
tools
leveled up.
and-
You know,
yeah.
you got to start out level, otherwise you run into problems. all the way through a building process.
Yeah.
And we're gonna frame this up on 6x6 piers, and so go from there. And getting that decking level is a little bit of a challenge. Takes a little bit of time, but after that is on, why it goes pretty fast.
Yeah. So we appreciate you guys supporting us, supporting the channel. I read the comments to Donnie. One of his, or both of his daughters watch the channel now, right?
Yeah.
And they read
yeah,
you the comments
yeah,
when I don't
yeah,
get to
yeah.
them. So
Yeah,
he gets them.
I get them by mouth.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do the computer, so
They want to know how big the camp's going to be, Donnie.
okay.
We're going to try to answer some of you guys' questions.
The camp is going to be 20 by 28, which isn't a huge camp, and then it's going to have an 8-foot farmer's porch, which will be 8 feet by 20, the whole length of the cabin.
Yeah.
And that'll be roofed over, be open to the elements other than the roof being over it.
Yeah.
Which will provide us with a great place to stack firewood
Yeah.
for winter and
Put your coolers out there.
and put your coolers.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Hang a deer if we need to.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah. And then what are we doing on the inside? A third loft or?
we're doing a partial loft. Yeah. It's probably going to be about an 8-foot loft or 10-foot loft.
Yeah.
And the rest will be cathedral ceiling with. We're going to cut some spruce poles to put across to tie the two walls together, and
Nice.
that'll certainly add to the look of the place. And then eventually we're going to get it V-matched inside, and which will probably happen this year, but just to get it closed in and usable for this winter is what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
And then we'll, when we're up here in the wintertime and we have some V-match up here, we can start insulating and V-matching it.
Just pick away at it.
Yeah, just pick away at
Yeah.
it.
I think it was Kevin or Keith said that ash that we cut milled yesterday on the live would make some nice furniture or make something nice, a table or something nice in there.
Ash,
It's beautiful.
A butcher block top, for a countertop or whatever.
If you guys have any questions for us, I got Donnie standing right here, and they could be questions about the build or whatever else you want. I'm able to read the questions as they pop up right now, and I'll read them to Donnie as they're coming. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to fire them our way.
If I don't know the answer, I'm going to give you one anyway.
He'll make something up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll give you, as a treat for you guys tuning into this live in the middle of the day, I'll give you guys a story, a couple of my favorite building stories with Donnie. One of them I wasn't there for, one I was there for. I'll let him tell you the one with Eric, but I'm going to turn the camera. My favorite one about when you said it was because it was so hot when you guys run out of nails, you can go home.
Oh yeah.
Donnie was the boss,
Yeah, and I hired a couple of kids in the summertime to help me build, and so it was a real hot, humid day, and we were boarding a roof and the end walls, and it was like a 2-story building. And it got so hot about 1:30 in the afternoon. I said, "Look, when our pouches are empty of nails, we're going to head out." He would reach in his pouch to get a nail, and he'd pick out 3 or 4 nails, and 3 of them would drop in. He'd have one in his hand. He'd nail that in. Every time he reached in his pouch, he'd drop 3 or 4 nails. So he ran out of nails, obviously, pretty fast, and he wanted out of there. So we got out of there pretty quick.
Yeah, was that the kid that wanted to get paid by the hour?
No, that was a different.
Oh,
kid.
geez, that was another funny one.
Yeah, that was another one. Oh yeah, I hired a kid for the summer, and I had him painting the trim before we put it up. And about an hour and a half into the painting process, he said, this was his first day on the job. He said, geez, when do I get paid on this job? I said, well, usually I pay every week or every other week. And, but I could make a check out, every hour if you want me to pay you by the hour.
He thought $10 an hour meant $10 an hour.
Oh, so we have a good time when we were building, and it was a lot of fun, and I'm sure a good experience teenagers to help out on that type of job. So that was great.
Guys, can you hear Donnie now? Let me know in the comments. I think I had my hand over the microphone.
You're kidding.
So yeah, so they said they couldn't hear you very well, so I think they turned it up, but I think I've moved my hand enough now. But yeah, that was one of my favorite carpentry stories with Donnie. And a question came through. Someone asked if we're going to be doing 2x6 walls, so I'll let you let them know.
We're just going to use these 2x4s that we're milling out. They have they have different types of insulation now. The old fiberglass, obviously, and they have a high density uh, insulation, which you can use. It's a little better R factor in a 2x4 wall than you would get out of normal insulation. So we're considering that, and we're also considering a new type of insulation, which is kind of friction fit. It's not fiberglass, it's some other product. Very well insulate, has good qualities of insulation, and it's also rodent proof, which would be a plus up in this area in the woods. You know, you get squirrels, you get mice, and you get a variety of different, small animals that could get up into your building and kind of destroy stuff. So they cannot make a bed, or the type of insulation that we're thinking of using is something rodent proof. So they won't bother that. So.
Yeah, will they get into the blue board?
No, not usually. They don't chew that up too bad.
Because we plan on using some blue board, right?
A 2-inch blue board in the on the subfloor underneath, and then we're going to use Advantech, which is a man-made product for the flooring, over the 2x10s.
Yeah. So pretty much, what are we buying for building material, like just the subflooring, right?
Yeah.
For wood.
Yeah, that the Advantech is about all we're buying for that, and then everything else is pretty much, well, except for the insulation and so forth, is.
But as far as like the construction part,
right.
we're pretty much milling everything, right?
Yeah, just about everything. We'll probably buy the V-match because we don't have the means of making V-match for one thing, and that'll be kiln dried and ready to put out. So.
Yeah.
But all the framing and boarding and the roofing material is going to be metal, which we'll get from the Amish, and that'll be a lasting roof. So.
Yeah. I talked to Wayne Jones yesterday, and he told me that he showed me the actual bend that they'll put for us for that overlap.
Okay.
It's a 7-inch overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll bend the ends for us.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, I was curious on how they did that. I know on my folks' barn they roofed that, and there was quite a serious. It came down fairly steep pitch, and then it kind of leveled off on a gradual pitch, and they put a piece of metal in there rather than bending it.
Yeah. I just had a question come through. I just took the phone out of the case. Hopefully that's coming in a little louder for you guys. I don't know. Maybe if I turned it around while we're talking, but I got a couple people commented it's been harder to hear Donnie, so we'll try to figure that out on our end. But a question just came through asking if we were within a snowmobile ride of any big lakes for ice fishing. The state of Maine's really funky. They've not done a great job with their laws, in my opinion, on what's open to ice fishing. They close the whole northern part of the state's closed to ice fishing unless it's open by special rule per lake or body of water, which to me is like the king's telling you what lakes you're allowed to fish at his and what lakes you're not. And it's not because there's a management plan. I think it's just it's a broad paintbrush they're putting over the whole northern zone. Anyway, getting off my high horse, there's a really good ice fishing lake nearby that I've never fished called Carpentry that we can snowmobile to. We're not too far from that, I guess. Right. We can snowmobile all the way up into Fort Kent and go for some of them muskie too, up on the like Glacier and Bow. I think is the St. John River, and then we should be able to snowmobile to Big Machias Lake.
Yeah, that isn't too far. There's Fish River Lake.
Fish River Lake,
but
I don't
that's
think it's
closed.
open.
That's
Yeah.
closed to ice fish.
Which is so dumb to close a lake to ice fishing. You know, when I talked to the commissioner directly on this, and she has opened quite a few lakes. She opened up some up in the Rangeley area to ice fishing that have been closed, you know, forever. And, you know, basically she said unless they have like a specific management plan, they should be open. So I think they should too. But
Yeah.
Donnie's still here. We're still here. We're still live. We got a couple more minutes left. If you guys have any other questions, I may have missed some. Let me see if I can figure this out. Bears, yeah, there's a lot of bears where we're going to be. Yep, so it's a short snowmobile ride. The plan is definitely to snowmobile, do a lot of snowmobiling up there, snowmobiling to ice fishing.
The road that we're on, I would doubt very seriously that they plowed that road in the wintertime. So that's a snowmobile ride into our camp. The main road, I'm sure, is plowed, but some of these sub roads, you know, off the main road aren't, unless they're working in that particular area. So
One of the people asked, one of the viewers asked if you'd lived in Maine your whole life.
I sure have. I'm a real maniac. And yeah, in fact, right now I live about 200 yards from where I grew up. Born in Damascotta, Maine, and I did move away for a while to school and work out of state for I guess probably 2 years. But other than that, I've been right here in the state of Maine.
Nice. Well, I don't see any other questions coming through, you guys. We'll give you a couple more minutes for any questions. Otherwise, Donnie and I are going to end this live and maybe get back to work. We might call it a day too. I don't know.
This has been kind of a split up day, you know, with the Joe had some duties he had to do at his business, and so we're kind of late getting going, but we might mill up a couple more of these small logs and get those out of the way. Now we have a big tractor here. My son's tractor got fixed so that we can put some heavier stuff on the mill, and we got to mill out a serious amount of 2x8s, 14 footers.
Yeah.
For the roofing rafters. So that's going to take some big stuff, and with my little tractor we were unable to do that. That's why we're milling this small stuff, but we do need 2x4s, so we're not wasting our time at all. And so, you know, you will see us milling some big stuff come first of the week, or maybe the end of this week. We'll be doing some of that.
So there was one last question from Jared. He wanted to know if we have any meetups planned coming up, like the one we did, that ice fishing. Remember that?
Yeah, that was so successful, and everybody I think that Joe's talked with and that I've talked to found that to be a super thing, and I think maybe if ice conditions this past winter were really pretty darn poor, and it was iffy to do it you know, just for a safety factor. But if we get some serious freeze ups this winter, I think it may happen again. You know, it's in the works, I'll say that.
Yeah. It was such a great day and such a great
Oh my
thing.
God, it was a picture perfect day.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better day for families to come out and
Yeah.
set a few traps and learn a few things and see.
So
see
so
some of the
350 Mac wants to know how far home is from camp. So we got two different answers for that. Depends if we're loaded.
Right, or unloaded.
Loaded was 7.5
Right.
hours.
Unloaded was about
five and a half, 5. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 5 because we stopped at the Chick-fil-A to get my sister some chicken and stuff. Remember that took a little while.
Yeah. So
probably 5.5.
You know, when they say
and it's downhill.
You're going up to camp. It literally seems like when you go up the interstate and up some of those hills through Patton and to Ashland, it seems like you're going up to northern Maine.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's a gradual uphill climb. And
coming home, they call it downstate.
Downstate, yeah. So there's something to that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then 350 back is also, he sent out the invitation. He's talked about Vermont before. Have you spent much time in Vermont, Donnie?
No, I've been to Burlington and you know, to the museum there, you know, and so forth. But I guess we did go to Ben and Jerry's
Did you?
ice
Yeah.
cream where they produced that, which was great. You know, I've traveled through it, and it's a beautiful state. I would say as beautiful as Maine is.
Yeah.
Uh, to me, seems like it's more rural than Maine. You
Yeah.
know, obviously southern Maine is really developed and built up. In northern Maine is very, very wild still,
Yeah.
and that's why we like to go there. And but I never go south in the summertime.
No.
It's just too busy for my bones. And if I were going anywhere, it would certainly be north.
Yeah.
But I got to admit, Vermont is a beautiful state.
Yep. The green there is a different color green than I've
Yeah,
seen anywhere else.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, they want to know if I found Dudley's secret season. And no, I haven't found it yet. Well, I got a little bit left, and I've been keeping it in case I got to run it through the lab. But Dudley, I mean, he's had an open invite since he's been here. He wanted to try to get back, and but I'm pulling the open invite until he brings up either more of that secret seasoning that we put on the fish, or until he gives us all the recipe. But I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get the seasoning mix for you guys because you guys have earned it, in my opinion. But Donnie, I think I gave, yeah, Donnie had some when we were on the river. Remember that
Yeah,
seasoning when we were on the river
right,
when I
yeah.
cooked up that fish?
Wicked good.
Yeah, it was some
Yeah.
good. And I caught a mess of crappie the other day. I took out, one of my ex-girlfriends wanted some fish to eat, so I took her out and we filled up half a pail. And Donnie
Boy, I
said,
got some
yeah,
of
he said
that.
just give him some for a meal.
That was really
I
delicious.
think I only gave you like two, right? Two fish,
Two
like four
fish, but I
fillets.
mean the fillets were big. I mean must have been pretty big crappies.
Yeah, they were decent
Yeah,
size.
yeah.
Yeah, and I
Now,
can't. I heard you ate with something pretty good too.
what did I have?
Was it
Oh,
baby
I
potatoes
had
and?
new potatoes. This year's new potatoes, which are about as big as a $1/2,
Mm-hmm.
and you just leave the skins on, cut them in half, and boil them up, and put plenty of butter on them,
Yeah.
and salt and pepper. Boy, you just can't beat that. If I only had some fresh peas to go with it, but I didn't. So,
Yeah, that would have
but
been it.
frozen peas had to work, and
Yeah.
but fresh peas. Oh my gosh, you can't beat fresh peas.
Yeah. Oh, they want to know Tommy Carbone. There he is. When they could order the shirts. We're actually gonna make some, Tommy. We're gonna make some shirts like I'm wearing right there. This is a design I made quite a few years back, and we made some with like moose and bear too. And Donnie and I we like wearing t-shirts.
Yeah,
Donnie's running
good.
low on them, as you could
Yeah.
see. So
You know, I got a farmer's tan. I don't
Yeah.
know if you can see this.
yeah, oh yeah,
I got a farmer's tan. They call this a farmer's tan. I'm really tanned here. You pull this.
Whoa,
Look at
cover
the
your
difference
eyes.
here. That's a farmer's tan. because most farmers just wear short sleeve shirts or t-shirts, and they get a nice tan on their lower arm. But man, you lift this up, and man,
Yeah.
white as a ghost.
exactly. But yeah, we'll be getting. We're gonna do some merch. I don't know if it's worth it. If you lose money, like I at my ice cream shop, I order that couple $1,000s worth of t-shirts. I used to order every year, and I lose a couple $1,000s on it pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really make money on merch because of how much it costs to get into it. I know there's some sites that'll do everything for you now, but I use it. It's more like marketing and tax write-off, and I like wearing shirts. So
Yeah.
I called my shirt guy actually yesterday after shooting that live and asked him to get me a quote for some of these.
I hope you got some green.
Yep, I told him.
Green is my favorite. He's got a red state
Yeah.
of Maine. I like the green one.
Yeah, I told him get me a quote on greens, reds, and then maybe like an army green colored shirt with like a white state of
Okay.
Maine, and
Yeah.
maybe the
Yeah.
bear and the moose, and then of course some ice cream shop ones too.
Oh, that'd be cool.
While we're printing it, because it's a screen printer. It's a local business. I like to support local businesses. Having one especially, it's really important to support your local businesses. So
Yeah.
I know there's other ways, but we got company. Uh-oh. Oh, he's not gonna like being on camera. He probably doesn't know we're shooting live, but that's Greg's son right there. He's coming out to check on the mill, make sure we haven't broken anything. They said the back of her legs are like Donnie's arms. She fishes in a kayak, and her backside is Casper White. Yeah, we can show you our backsides, but not on the live video. But yeah, we're gonna tune out here. Greg's just getting here to the mill. There's Greg. Greg, you're on live, so no swears.
Live YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, we're on YouTube live right now. Greg's got this fixed. He got the mill fixed for us. He's just coming behind us and fixing stuff. So
yeah.
That's been his job lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's gonna do it for today, guys. We're about to get serious out here and get some work done. But we appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Appreciate you tuning in, and if you leave any more comments or questions, we'll get to them after this publishes. So I'm gonna hit that X right there.